Hey YouTube, welcome back. Today we have the second approach of the problem number 169, the majority element. In the previous approach we did a brute force, and as you can see, as you remember, we did have a rate limit, exceed limits. Because our approach was time complexity was of n squared, so it wasn't the best approach. So let's reset everything and let's read the problem and let's talk about the new solution that we try to do. So given an array called nums of size n, return the majority element. So the majority element is the element that appears more than n divided by 2 times. You may assume that the majority element always exists in the array. So if we have in the input called nums 3, 2, 3, as you can see here. So basically it's the majority element will be 3 here because we have 3 and 2 and 3. And because 3 it's appeared twice and we have 3 times. Also we have nums here, it's appeared like a 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2 and 2. It's appeared 4 times and the length is 7, so it's the majority number, so we return 2. And today we could solve this problem by doing like let me go back, by using a hash map, because let me think about how we can do. Like we can have like a hash map, and in this hash map we will have like the each number and its occurrences. So like 2 is like 4 times, sorry 2 is 4 times, and 1 is 3 times. And basically what I'm trying to think about, that when we store this in the hash map, we can loop through this hash map, and after looping through this hash map we will have like a variable we call like a majority number, and it will equals at the beginning to like 0 or null. Okay, and we loop through this hash map, and first we find 2 and we see if 2 has the value 4, thus 4 is bigger than null. If that was right, we add 4, and we continue looping to find like, okay, we have 1 has 3, that 3 is bigger than 4. If that wasn't the case, we keep 4 as it is, and we continue looping like that until we find the biggest element in the end of the loop. So let's just try to code this real quick. So I will say, okay, I will create a function here, and I will call this function count nums. I will call it function. I will call it count nums, and it will take nums as an argument, and I will have a variable called counts, and this one will be whatever will come from the count nums function. Basically the count functions will just put all will create the hash map. So we'll create a hash map. So const, which equals new map, and I could say, okay, I will create like a for loop, like for of const of nums, and okay, so I'll say if the counts, if map if map doesn't has if map doesn't has num. If that wasn't the case, I will say, okay, the map dot set num to 1. If map already has num, I will say, okay, map dot set num to map dot get num. So basically I'm get the previous value and I will add to it 1. Okay. And after that, I will return map. So pretty easy here. So after we create the map, I will create a variable we call let majority, and maybe you could just like store the entity in it. It will equals null, and I'll create a for loop, const num and the count, because as you can see we store the num and the count for each one. So we create a for off loop. We get to loop through the hash map of counts, and we say okay, if the majority is null or does it have a value yet, or the count is bigger than the majority. If that was the case, we assign the majority. No, not like that. We assign the majority will equals to num and count, and maybe we return majority of 0 because we want to return the num. Maybe you could just have assign it to num, or yeah no, because we need to have the number. Oh no, sorry, my bad. I guess this is not right, because the majority will be an array, and if it will be the first element will be the actual num and the second element will be the count. So we compare the count with the majority, the first element. We could have two elements instead, like yeah. So yeah, however we have it like that. So after that I'll return the majority of 0, and I guess that's will work. Let's run. It did work. Let's submit the code. It did work, and I'm beating 70%. That's not that good. Okay, so let's just try to describe the code here. So basically we define count nums variable function that takes the array called nums as its parameter and return a map containing the counts of each unique element in nums. Inside count nums we initialize an empty map. We call it map. Okay. We use a for loop to iterate through each element in nums, the array. Within the loop, we check if the map already has an entry of the current num using the has method. If not, we initialize it with a count of 1. If it already exists, we increment the count by using 1 in the set method. After counting the occurrences of each element in nums, we return the map. After we return the map, we have the majority element, which the function takes, and the majority element takes array called nums as a parameter. Inside the majority elements, we calculate the count nums function to get the counts of each elements in nums and store the results in counts map. After that, we initialize majority to null, as you can see here, which will be used to keep track of the majority element and its count. We iterate through the counts map using the for loop. Each entry consists of num and count, and after that, inside the loop, we compare the current entry count with the count of the majority for the majority entry. If it's a greater, we update the majority entry to the current entry. After the loop, we return the num of the majority entry, which represents the majority element. And yeah, that's it. That's how it works. So that's it for this video, and I hope you like my content. If you like my content, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and see you in future problem.